U.S. National Security Advisor John Bolton says Washington gave a, quote, big deal document to North Korea. As we never got to see what it includes, our Lee Ji-won turned to some experts for their take on what could have been part of this deal.
With the second North Korea-U.S. summit coming to an end with no agreement reached, the big deal mentioned by National Security Advisor John Bolton in numerous interviews never got to see light. But numerous U.S. officials have been emphasizing that Washington was prepared for a big deal that included pretty much everything from the weapons of mass destruction to a declaration of the North's nuclear and missile programs.
There are also timing and sequencing issues that were associated with that as well, which we didn't quite get across the finish line as well. But remember, too, even that facility, even the Yongbyon facility, and all of its scope, which is important for sure, still leaves missiles, still leaves warheads and weapon systems. So there's a lot of other elements that we just couldn't get to, and a declaration associated. All of those things we couldn't quite get there today.
A senior State Department official told reporters after the summit that President Trump had encouraged North Korean leader Kim Jong-un to go all in, and the U.S. too is expected to have presented the North with something more than the alleviation of sanctions, possibly a peace statement as well.
No one knows for sure if they had a declaration of the end of the Korean War in there as well, or simply a clause on further discussions on that. But something on ending the state of war would have been included as well, as they call it a grand bargain.
But despite these efforts, no deal was reached.
Their gap in the scale, range, and subject of denuclearization seem to have been different. North Korea obviously wasn't going to give anything more than the Yongbyon nuclear facility. They simply continued asking the U.S. to lift practically all the sanctions. And when the U.S. mentioned dismantling the uranium facility, the North is likely to have avoided that discussion.
The expert adds that with the phased approach not seeming to be working, there is a possibility that the U.S. will go back to square one and ask for a roadmap of the whole process. Lee Ji-won, Arirang News.